This video describes the StatLog, new in Statgraphics Centurion version 17. The StatLog records important events that occurred during a session. These include file operations, operations on data files and statfolios, changes to data, the output of statistical analyses including tables and graphs, and results saved back to a datasheet. The output of statistical analyses may be saved automatically or selectively if the user desires. The StatLog itself may be saved at any time as an RTF file, and you'll be prompted to do so at the end of your session. Let me show you how it works. I've loaded a new session of Statgraphics Centurion version 17. The first thing I'll do is go to the File menu and open up a recent data file. I think I'll open one called 93 cars. Along the left-hand side of the window, you'll see a navigation bar listing 6 separate windows. If I click on StatLog, the StatLog window will appear. You'll see that it's already recorded the time at which my session started, the version number that I'm running, the username and computer name that's currently loaded Statgraphics, and the name of the data file 93 cars. I can control the output that's placed in the StatLog by going to Edit on the top menu and selecting Preferences. On the General tab, you'll see a section for the StatLog. I have the choice of generating a full audit trail, which will save everything, or customizing what's saved. I can indicate via these checkboxes whether I want to log file operations, data changes, analyses, or saved results. I can also select whether or not to number each line in the StatLog. Now let's go ahead and do an analysis. Let's go to the Relate menu to One Factor Simple Regression. I'm going to do a regression of miles per gallon in highway driving of my 93 automobiles versus horsepower. I'll select the linear model initially, and on the lists of tables and graphs, take all the defaults. You'll see that this is opened up in Analysis window. If I now go back to the StatLog, you'll see that all the output, all the tables and graphs, has been recorded for me in the StatLog window. Now let's go back to the Simple Regression window and make a change. I'll push the right mouse button, select Analysis Options, and then choose a multiplicative model instead. You'll see all the output update, and if I go back to the StatLog, you'll also see that the new tables and graphs have been added below the original ones. I can also select individual tables and graphs to be added to the StatLog. For example, let's go back to the Simple Regression and double-click on the plot of the fitted model. I'm going to now push the Identify button and select Model to identify points by when I click on them. If I click on a particular point, such as this one, it will now identify that as a Honda Civic. If I want to add this particular plot to the StatLog, there's a button on the Analysis toolbar for saving to the log file. I'll push it once, and it tells me that that graph has been added to the StatLog. And now we'll take a look, and there it is. You can also have the StatLog keep a note of any data changes. Let's go back to the data sheet for just a moment And in the min price field for the Honda, let's change the 8.4 to 10. If I then go back to the StatLog, you'll see that it will note for me that the data has been changed, that the data in the sheet 93 cars, column min price, row 42, has been changed from 8.4 to 10. At any time, I can save the StatLog by pushing the right mouse button and selecting Save StatLog As. You can specify now the name of a rich text file, an RTF file, which will be saved on disk, and later you can read it into Word. The StatLog is a very convenient way to save the output you generate during a Statgraphics Centurion version 17 session.